What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA playoffs. Sunday, July 11th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, NBA Finals. We have this NBA Showdown between the Phoenix Suns and the Milwaukee Bucks. So let's take a look at the point guard position. I like Chris Paul from the Phoenix Suns playing the Milwaukee Bucks. Chris Paul has averaged 37.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with a 23% usage rate. He scored 37, 51, and 67 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 41, 37, and 34 minutes. He's going to be about 46% owned on FanDuel, projected at 41.4 fantasy points here tonight. Now, Vegas thinks there's going to be 222 points scored in this game, so I like Chris Paul here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, another point guard that I like is Jrue Holiday from the Milwaukee Bucks, and he averaged 36.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 32 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. He scored 45, 29, and 63 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 39, 39, and 42 minutes. He's going to be about 35% owned on FanDuel, projected at 42 fantasy points here tonight. Now, I really like this play on FanDuel because he's only $12,000 FanDuel salary. I also like him over there on DraftKings, but I think you're getting a good player that's got 40 plus fantasy point upside at a discount here. So I like Jrue Holiday here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Devin Booker from the Phoenix Suns. He averaged 37.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 34 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He scored 43, 44, and 39 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 44, 41, and 42 minutes. He's going to be about 40% owned on FanDuel, projected at 41.2 fantasy points here tonight. We know Devin Booker has 50 plus fantasy point upside when he gets going, and he's got a great matchup. So I like Devin Booker here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, if you're looking for a sleeper pick, a way to save some salary and make your lineup different, take a look at Pat Connaughton from the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, he only averaged 17 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 23 minutes per game with a 12% usage rate, but he scored 22, 13, and 30 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 33, 28, and 30 minutes. So he's playing a ton of minutes. He's going to be about 30% owned on FanDuel, projected at 20 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Pat Connaughton as a high-risk, high-reward play here versus the Phoenix Suns. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Chris Middleton from the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged 36.7 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 25% usage rate. He scored 34, 38, and 49 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 41, 44, and 40 minutes. He's going to be about 42% owned on FanDuel, projected at 44 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Chris Middleton here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, if you're looking for another low salary player who's got some upside, take a look at Mikal Bridges from the Phoenix Suns. He averaged 26.8 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 15% usage rate. He scored 39, 20, and 16 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 37, 29, and 23 minutes. So kind of a hit or miss play here. He's projected, he's going to be about 39% owned on FanDuel, projected at 26.1 fantasy points here tonight. So we see that he's got 30 plus fantasy point upside. He's only $9,500 FanDuel salary, and he did play 37 minutes last game. He's got a good matchup, so I like Mikal Bridges if you're trying to save some salary here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, let's take a look at the power forward position. We got the beast, the stud, the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged 53.9 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 33 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. He scored 71 and 52 fantasy points in the last 2 games, playing 40 and 35 minutes. He's going to be about 75% owned on FanDuel, projected at 53.5 fantasy points here tonight. So I like Giannis Antetokounmpo here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, now a deep sleeper pick here. If you're looking for a super low salary play, somebody that's got some upside, playing a ton of minutes, take a look at PJ Tucker from the Milwaukee Bucks. He scored 14, 17, and 21 fantasy points in the last 3 games, but he's playing a lot of minutes. He played 34, 33, and 32 minutes in the last 3 games. So he doesn't get the ball much. He doesn't have huge upside, but he is on the court all the time. So he's got that opportunity to score some fantasy points. He's going to be about 17% owned, projected at 20 fantasy points here tonight. He's only $7,500 FanDuel salary. So if you want to make your lineup different, this is a tournament play. He'll let you stack the rest of your lineup because you're going to save a ton of salary. So I like PJ Tucker as a high risk, high reward play here versus the Phoenix Suns. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like DeAndre Ayton from the Phoenix Suns. He averaged 33.1 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 31 minutes per game with an 18% usage rate. He scored 44, 48, and 42 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 42, 38, and 40 minutes. He's going to be about 37% owned on FanDuel, projected at 37.6 fantasy points here tonight, but he's been playing really well against the Bucks, so I'd put him at 40 plus fantasy points. He's only $13,000 FanDuel salary, so I really like this pick. So I like DeAndre Ayton here versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, the other center that I like is Brook Lopez from the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, he averaged 24.5 fantasy points per game on the season, playing an average of 27 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. He scored 31, 29, and 28 fantasy points in the last 3 games, playing 27, 22, and 38 minutes. He's going to be about 21% owned, projected at 28 fantasy points here tonight. Now, I would probably just pay $2,000 more to get DeAndre Ayton, because I don't like that Brook Lopez has only played 27 and 22 minutes the last 2 games since Giannis has got back into action. But Brook Lopez does have 30 plus fantasy point upside, so I like Brook Lopez if you're trying to make your lineup different here versus the Phoenix Suns.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.